The woman lovingly prepared cabbage for her husband every day, unaware of a large worm in the batch this time. After dinner, her husband complained of a stomachache, but he refused Amy's suggestion to take medicine. By the next day, his nose began bleeding uncontrollably. Thinking it was just a minor issue, he washed his face and went to meet a client. Suddenly, blood from his nose dripped into his water glass, shocking everyone around him. At that moment, Mike felt something moving in his head. Before anyone could react, his head exploded, releasing countless worms. The police, baffled by the incident, investigated the restaurant's kitchen but found no trace of worms. Determined to understand what these creatures were, they sent the worms to a lab for analysis. Scientists discovered that the worms were hermaphroditic and reproduced at an alarming rate. Once they entered a body, they multiplied endlessly, eventually causing the host to explode. By this point, the worms had spread all over the town. In a desperate attempt to prevent further tragedies, Jim urged scientists to find a way to exterminate the worms. Meanwhile, one of the worms crawled into an elderly man's glove without his knowledge. Moments later, the man began thrashing in pain, trying to remove the glove. Desperate, he reached for a pair of scissors on a nearby flower stand, but the stand toppled over, pinning him to the ground. In agony, he spotted an axe and used it to sever his own hands. When his wife arrived to help him, a gas leak ignited, causing an explosion that killed them both. To contain the outbreak, Jim proposed shutting down the town's water supply after discovering the worms in his own faucet. The police chief dismissed the idea as ridiculous, arguing it would deprive residents of water. As he ate his hamburger, oblivious to the danger, the toilet seat in the restroom began to move ominously. Minutes later, his secretary entered the office, only to find the chief missing. Following strange sounds from the restroom, she discovered the chief's body covered in worms, leaving her horrified. With the situation escalating, scientists worked tirelessly to develop a solution, while Jim discovered his home was infested with worms. Determined to save the town, he donned a protective suit and prepared for a final showdown. This movie is called Slugs. If you're intrigued, be sure to check out the original film.